This is Mama Thea of Asli Pure, and when I want to hear the story from the lion and the lioness, I listen to Lion Voice with Ras Kwasi Bonsu.
I can't say it enough on this channel. The music business is a relationship business. You have to build relationships. And this is why music conferences and those things are so important. Look and see where these digital distributors are going to be. Go to the conference, get some FaceTime with their rep, get to know somebody in the operation. I'm one of the founders of Jamaica Music Conference. I can do a shameless plug for my conference, but it can be any music conference. These digital distributors, they go to different places to speak about their platforms, to have booths. Go to the booth, meet the person running the booth, build, get a phone number, get a relationship. Who's your rep? Get a relationship, but just find a way into the company with a human being that you can talk to and find out things that are happening so that you're not just a number or a file.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice. Yeah, go up on North Road. Haile Selassie the first. Children. Well, you're gonna do two things when you hear this song. You either gonna move or you gonna leave. You have to move. Either way you gonna bounce or you have to rest. You have to bounce. I tell them bounce, I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Can't buy my soul for no bank account. I tell them bounce, I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Blessings where we got too much they can't count. Would you sell your people poison to make a dime? If you knew that they were dying, would you change your mind? Would you embrace crime? Would you risk life in a cage?
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an artist, I'm an author, I'm an actionist, and right now I'm the host of the Lion Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network and welcome to Lion Law, where we talk about the latest in entertainment law topics and the basics for an independent music professional in the entertainment space. We are here for education. Being a creative is a passion that I have. Helping creatives is a passion that I have. Connecting creatives is a passion that I have. So the Lion Law, we take it on my professional side. I am an entertainment attorney, so I do want to give a platform for that part of my passion. So today we're going to continue in the series of building your team. We talked about building yourself, which is inclusive of your entourage, what that looks like, what kind of components you need. We talked about the audience, how to relate, some basics in terms of relating to the audience, protecting yourself as you engage with your audience. We talked about an entertainment attorney, the importance of an entertainment attorney. We talked about managers, very important. And then we also followed up that with your publisher. Now we're going to talk about another important aspect that relates directly to your monetization. What is monetization? Making money. And this channel, economics, is a through line or a thread that goes through all of the programming here, because to build your kingdom as a king, as a creative, knowing that my audience is 95% male, you have to have an economic foundation. And in the creative industry, that economic foundation means that you have to set up the points of contact where you are monetizing, where you're actually interacting with the audience, with the consumer. This is also outlined in my creative ecosystem outline, which you can get by visiting the website and downloading free PDF that gives you an outline. I've been spending a lot of time in terms of building out this ecosystem and what this ecosystem is, and by watching this channel, you're going to actually see this ecosystem come to life. The Lion Voice Network is only one part of a larger ecosystem. And again, I'm taking all of my creative passions and putting infrastructure around them and making sure that they connect and it all makes sense. So following the journey, go to the Patreon, or you can make sure that you sign up via the website. Make sure that we get your email. Because again, YouTube is just one corner of the ecosystem. We're building out an entire ecosystem, and I want to share, particularly with my Rastafari family, what it takes and what we need to do, because every creative needs to create an ecosystem. Every business person, every family needs their own economic ecosystem, and a lot of these principles can go regardless of what your product or service is. So that being said, today's topic, we're going to be talking about distribution deals. One of the most important things you're going to do, especially for those who create music, is your digital distribution. And your digital distributor is a critical part of your team in terms of what we're talking about in this series. You have to have your digital distribution infrastructure together, and you have to know how to choose your digital distributor. So we're going to talk about 5 things that you need to consider when you're choosing your digital distributor, and we'll talk about different things. And remember, when you are getting ready to execute your agreement with your digital distribution company, make sure you have an attorney walk you through, because you should understand all the legalese, all of the contract language that you're signing into. Most of these companies have adhesion contracts, and when we say adhesion, that means that you can't modify it. Either you take it or you leave it. They put out the terms. That's when you go online and you see all these pop-up contracts. Those are adhesion contracts, because it's either you take it or you leave it. They're not going to switch it for you. If you are an artist with leverage and you come to the table, then everything is negotiable. That is rule number 1 in business. So coming as an independent artist, you may not have a lot of leverage. It's still important for you to understand what you're signing. So make sure you go back and see why entertainment attorney is important. Make sure you sit down for a consultation. You know, a small fee for a consultation can save you thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars down the line by preventing you from signing an ill-advised deal or being locked into a deal that you did not understand at the time of signing. So, and then an entertainment attorney is going to give you some perspective and some different things to consider. That being said, what are the things to look at for a distribution deal? One of the things that you want to look at for the distribution deal when you're looking at distributors is the pricing structure. So, you know, how are they, what is the actual terms of the deal in terms of the monetization? Some of them will ask for a percentage of royalty, fee. Some of them have monthly fees that you pay, or annual fees. Some of them it's just, a one-time fee annually, and then you get to keep all of your revenue. There are different models out there, so it's important that you understand what the model is and how it's tailored to meet your needs. One of the things you want to do, and there are a lot of smaller digital distributors in reggae and dancehall. When we talk about digital distributors, we're talking about the Zojak, we're talking about Hapilos, we're talking about RPM. Those are the main players. Talking about Tough Gang, and there are a few others that I can name, but those are the main ones when we're talking about reggae and dancehall. What you want to do is to scrutinize any agreement with a digital distributor. Make sure there's no hidden fees in there that you have to pay that you are not aware that you have to incur. So just make sure you understand. So number one is the pricing structure. Number two is the selection of the digital stores or outlets that they offer. Not all digital distribution services are created equal. For example, if you want to make sure your music is on TikTok, IG, all of these little services where you can select music, make sure that your digital distributor services those outlets. Make sure that they go where you need them to go. The digital distributors are always looking for additional outlets to put their catalogs that they are responsible for. But it's important that you understand and that you know very clearly, is it going in the Apple Store? Is it on Amazon? Is it on Google Play? Is it on Spotify and all of these other services? You want to make sure that you check and it's there. Number three is the most important, or one of the most important things when you're selecting. What is the customer service? Can you get a customer service rep on the phone? Are you dealing with a human being? When you email, how long does it take for them to respond? A couple of days is reasonable. You don't hear from them weeks, months, and you're continually sending emails to deal with situations. That is a red flag. That's not a good thing. So you want to talk to people who are already working with them to see, and you want to make sure that you establish good relationships. I can't say it enough on this channel. The music business is a relationship business. You have to build relationships, and this is why music conferences and those things are so important. Look and see where these digital distributors are going to be. Go to the conference, get some FaceTime with their rep, get to know somebody in the operation. I'm one of the founders of Jamaica Music Conference. I can do a shameless plug for my conference, but it can be any music conference. These digital distributors, they go to different places to speak about their platforms, to have booths. Go to the booth, meet the person running the booth, build, get a phone number, get a relationship. Who's your rep? Get a relationship, but just find a way into the company with a human being that you can talk to and find out things that are happening, so that you're not just a number or a file. You want to make sure that somebody is thinking about your best interests at these companies. So, and it may not be possible as a small artist because they put most of their resources into top selling artists. That's just the reality of business. You have to allocate whatever limited resources they have, but the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So make sure that you go out there, practice your diplomacy, and make a good impression. Number four is the reporting and the metrics. Make sure that you get some access to their analytics so you can see how your music is performing in different territories. Again, talk to people who may be already with the entity. Look online, see if you can find any feed forward from other creatives. But make sure these are questions that you're asking. What access will you have to the analytics, to the metrics that you can use to help you to craft what you're doing and your approach in terms of your marketing. Because one of the keys to this is that the digital distributor, they're on your team, they'll do some things, and we'll talk about that in the next, the fifth step. But you are ultimately responsible for your marketing, so you have to be on top of your things. Number five is the growth opportunity for artists. This is AKA digital marketing. Are they putting you in playlists? Do they have their own playlists? Because some of them will be able to pitch songs for playlists on big platforms like the Spotify's, etc. Depending on who the distributor is. Some of them have their own playlists on their own platforms. Some of them have aggregated the audience of emails, networks. Do they have a newsletter? Are they pushing artists? Are they going to give you banner ad on their own site? Are they going to push you out? What is the marketing support that they are going to give to your projects upon release? They have social media platforms, most of them. Are they going to give you some priority there in the stories? What does that look like? So it's very important to understand, because hundreds of thousands, let's say millions of songs are out there, people can choose from in terms of streaming, which is what's driving the music industry right now. What sets your music apart? The answer is going to be the marketing. Major records are broken with major money. So if you're as an independent, you really have to maximize how you approach the industry. You have to maximize. As an independent artist, you have to maximize your marketing. You have to learn about your marketing. As I said at the beginning of this video, I've invested significant time and resources, economic resources, into learning digital marketing. So I'll be bringing more of that here, talking about ClickFunnels, different things that are on the cutting edge of digital marketing, how to build your email list. All of these things we'll touch on. These things with Lion Law. We're going to start doing some interviews with other entertainment attorneys on different topics. So we're going to deepen the platform and try to make it serve upcoming creatives. I know that entertainment law is intimidating to most creatives. We don't like to sit with attorneys. We try to figure it out, or we think we're not at that stage yet. But there's no wrong stage, and you may move slower, it may take you longer, but if you set up your infrastructure right, if you get the right roadmap, by sitting with an entertainment attorney, you're much more likely to reach your destination than if you try to figure it out just doing stuff on your own. So we're going to bring you that information. This episode, we're just touching on just some things to think about when you're thinking about digital distribution and bringing a digital distributor on your team. This is a part of a series. We're going to continue with the series. We're also going to continue looking at existing entertainment law cases, examining complaints, the whole of it. And we're going to keep on doing this. I want to take time to big up our sponsors, big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. And remember, if you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. Big up Ramia King Designs. They have the nice containers you can keep your water, you can sip. Do remember, we have Haile Selassie Ethiopia, epic story of the birth, the origin story and the birth story of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the first of 7 volumes. Make sure you get it now. We're going to start working on the 2nd volume shortly. So much things in the works. But right now, we're talking about the entertainment industry, music business, because the time has come for the Lions to own their own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
Lion Voice. Yeah, go up on North Road. Haile Selassie the first. Children. Well, you're gonna do 2 things when you hear this song. You either gonna move or you gonna leave. You have to move. Either way you gonna bounce. Or you have to rest. You have to bounce. I tell them bounce, I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Can't buy my soul for no bank account. I tell them bounce, I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Blessings where we got too much they can't count. Would you sell your people poison to make a dime? If you knew that they were dying, would you change your mind? Would you embrace crime? Would you risk life in a cage? Or would you even care as long as you got paid? You never been a slave, still you slave for the cash. If the price was right, you woulda sell your ass. Far as I can see, you don't know your past. You just a follow dirty Babylon till Babylon crash. Tell them bounce. I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Can't buy my soul for no bank account. I tell them bounce, I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Blessings where we got too much, they can't count. Tell them bounce, I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Work hard for my money, work for large amounts. I tell them bounce, I tell them bounce, tell them bounce. Blessings where we got too much, they can't count. Would you put on a dress? Would you put on a blouse? Would you do anything just to move the crowd? Would you take off your clothes? Would you spread out and pose just to get some diamond and some gold? Would you call your people nigger, then ask them to wave? If your people were in trouble, then how would you behave? If the beast came out the cave and started to rage, would you be afraid? Or would you tell them bounce?